let's say the celebrity atheist types, because I actually like that phrase, they don't seem to me to be contending with the real issues. They seem to be going at Carl Jung, 20 books and maybe 15 seminars. He's a real issue. Like, there are some serious heavy hitters in the religious phenomenology domain.
Of the psychologists who've dealt with these problems, and there have been many, for me, Carl Jung says the most.
In your book, Decoding Jung's Metaphysics, you point out that since you were a teenager, Jung has had a big influence on your life. In fact, I think you suggest so large an influence that it may even be operating at the unconscious level.
I was so influenced by him so early on that sometimes it's hard to tell which ideas are mine and which are his, just sort of elaborated in different words in a different way, but at root, his ideas. I think he was the key link in the 20th century between the streams of idealism, German idealism in the 19th and 18th century, and the renaissance of idealism in the 21st. Jung held the candle alive during the darkness of positivism and behaviorism and all that stuff.
What sort of religious upbringing did your father give you?
Oh, we were Swiss Reformed.
And did he make you attend church regularly?
Oh, well, that was quite natural.
Yes.
Everybody went to church on Sunday.
And did you believe in God?
Oh, yes.
Do you now believe in God?
Now, difficult to answer. I know. I don't need to believe. I know.
Hello, this is Eddie Paredes, the headmaster of the Platonic Mystery School of the Divine Infinite Being, and we welcome you here to the creative work that we have done on the Carl Jung debates. Many modern scholars have argued for the Jungian position in opposition to secular atheism, such as the very famous Jordan Peterson. Although Jung died June 6, 1961, and has the disadvantage of 7 decades of continuing scientific development, we wanted to resurrect his position on the value of religion and belief in God. In our opinion, the modern debate forum, arguing mostly with biblical religious dogma as a background, misses a profound position that Jung championed throughout his career. These debates were created from a neutral position, giving equal credence to both sides of the argument. They were generated by agnostic rules in ChatGPT-4 and include both creative scripts and actual statements from each of the debaters' written work. These do not reflect actual historical debates, but are overall a creative work, giving the audience the opportunity to consider both sides in their own journeys towards truth. For implications of Jung's theories in the light of a modern frame, especially concerning the work started with his colleague and Nobel Prize-winning quantum physicist Wolfgang Pauli, current ideas in string theory, perennial philosophy, and religious studies, please consider reviewing our central doctrine at www.divineinfinitebeing.com. And now, without further ado, let's begin the debate forum with Carl Jung debating on the existence and relevance of God with modern secular atheism.
Hey, psychology enthusiasts and curious minds alike. I'm about to take you on a wild ride through time and space where the impossible becomes possible. Imagine it's a dark, moonlit night. The streets are deserted and there's a slight chill in the air that sends shivers down your spine. Suddenly 3 figures in dark robes appear. They are necromancers, and tonight they're on a mission. It's time, says one, as they slide into a car parked under a thickened street lamp. The car starts, and they drive off into the night. The road ahead shrouded in mist. Cut to a misty cemetery where our necromancers stop. They walk through creaking gates, their footsteps echoing in the silence. They're here to awaken none other than Carl Jung, the father of analytical psychology. They set up candles, forming a circle around Jung's grave. The air thickens, the ground trembles, mystical symbols glow, and then, arise, Carl Jung. The ground cracks open and Carl Jung rises, bewildered but alive. They return to the car, driving into the night, the city lights drawing closer. Now picture this, Carl Jung, dressed in modern clothes, walking into a bustling auditorium. The crowd is buzzing with anticipation. Tonight he will debate a contemporary atheist. The stage is set, the audience is seated, and the air is thick with tension. Let's begin, Jung says into the microphone, and the debate of the century kicks off.
Welcome, distinguished guests, to this discussion on the existence of God. I am William Walker Atkinson, and it is a pleasure to moderate this discussion between two esteemed thinkers, Dr. Carl Jung and Dr. Richard Dawkins. We gather here to explore the depths of human belief, reason, and the nature of existence. As I have written, the human soul is a mighty dynamic force, lying latent within us, and which can be awakened and brought into action by mental and spiritual effort. Let us begin our journey into the exploration of this profound topic.
The question of God's existence is not merely a theological issue, but a psychological one. As I have stated, the decisive question for man is he related to something infinite or not? That is the telling question of his life. The belief in God or a higher power can be seen as an expression of the human psyche's need to relate to something greater than itself. It reflects our search for meaning and purpose in a seemingly chaotic universe.
While I understand the psychological need for belief in a higher power, it is crucial to distinguish between subjective experiences and objective reality. As I have argued, faith is the great cop-out, the great excuse to evade the need to think and evaluate evidence. The existence of God should be approached with the same rigorous scrutiny we apply to any other hypothesis. Without empirical evidence, the claim remains unsubstantiated.
Dr. Dawkins raises a pertinent point about the need for empirical evidence. However, we must also consider the subjective dimension of human experience. As I have noted, the mind of man is capable of accomplishing anything. The one great impediment is lack of faith. Dr. Jung, how do you reconcile the subjective experiences of faith with the objective demands of evidence?
Subjective experiences, particularly those of a religious or spiritual nature, provide profound insights into the human condition. They reveal the archetypal symbols and themes that resonate within the collective unconscious. As I have written, the images of the unconscious place a great responsibility upon a man. Failure to understand them, or a shirking of ethical responsibility, deprives him of his wholeness and imposes a painful fragmentariness on his life. These experiences, while not empirical evidence of God's existence, point to a deeper psychological truth.
Psychological truths, while valuable, should not be conflated with empirical realities. The scientific method is our most reliable tool for understanding the universe. As I have stated, science is the disinterested search for the objective truth about the material world. We must be cautious not to let our psychological inclinations cloud our judgment of what constitutes evidence for the existence of God.
The interplay between psychological insight and empirical evidence is indeed complex. As I have written, thought is a force, a manifestation of energy, having a magnet, like power of attraction. This brings us to the next point of our discussion. How do religious and spiritual experiences shape our understanding of the divine?
Religious and spiritual experiences are transformative, offering individuals a sense of connection to something beyond themselves. These experiences often involve encounters with the numinous, which I describe as the holy other. As I have noted, the numinosum is either a quality belonging to a visible object or the influence of an invisible presence that causes a peculiar alteration of consciousness. Such experiences, though not empirical proof, indicate the profound impact of the divine on the human psyche.
While religious experiences can be deeply meaningful, they do not provide verifiable evidence for the existence of a deity. As I have argued, there is a fundamental difference between religion, which is based on authority, and science, which is based on observation and reason. Personal experiences are subjective and can be explained through psychological and neurological mechanisms.
The dichotomy between personal experience and scientific observation is a significant aspect of this debate. As I have written, the power of thought, the magic of the mind, is within the reach of all who will concentrate and focalize their mental faculties. Dr. Jung, how do you address the argument that religious experiences are merely products of psychological and neurological processes?
It is true that religious experiences can be understood through psychological and neurological lenses. However, this does not diminish their significance. These experiences tap into the deepest layers of the unconscious, revealing the archetypal foundations of our psyche, as I have written. The symbols of the self arise spontaneously in the psychic processes of transformation. They guide individuals towards greater self-awareness and integration.
Understanding the psychological basis of religious experiences is essential, but it is equally important to maintain a critical perspective. As I have emphasized, we are all atheists about most of the gods that societies have ever believed in. Some of us just go one god further. The burden of proof lies with those making extraordinary claims, and without empirical evidence, the existence of God remains unproven.
The burden of proof and the role of evidence are indeed central to this discussion. As I have noted, to create power in your life, the power of thought, the power of belief, and the power of faith must be combined. As we delve deeper into the nature of belief and evidence, let us consider the implications of atheism and theism for our understanding of morality and purpose.
Morality and purpose are deeply connected to our inner lives and the archetypal structures within the collective unconscious. The presence or absence of belief in God shapes how we navigate these moral and existential questions. As I have stated, the more the critical reason dominates, the more impoverished life becomes, but the more of the unconscious, the more of life. Belief in God can provide a framework for understanding and integrating these deeper aspects of ourselves.
Morality and purpose do not necessarily depend on the existence of God. Secular humanism offers a robust framework for ethical living, grounded in reason and empathy. As I have argued, we can give up belief in God while not losing touch with a treasured heritage of moral ethics. Our understanding of morality should be based on the well-being of conscious creatures, not on religious doctrines.
The exploration of morality and purpose brings us to the core of human existence. As I have written, the awakened soul serves the body, and the body serves the soul, and this is the entire secret of life. Dr. Jung, how do you see the relationship between belief in God and the quest for meaning in life?
The quest for meaning is a fundamental aspect of the human condition. Belief in God or a higher power can offer a profound sense of purpose and direction. As I have noted, the least of things with a meaning is worth more in life than the greatest of things without it. This search for meaning often leads individuals to a deeper understanding of themselves and their place in the world.
While the search for meaning is vital, it need not rely on belief in God. Science and reason provide us with tools to explore the universe and our place within it. As I have stated, there is something infantile in the presumption that somebody else has a responsibility to give your life meaning and point. We are capable of finding meaning through our relationships, achievements, and contributions to the betterment of humanity.
We now turn to our next topic, the cosmological argument. What caused the universe to exist, and does that cause necessitate a God? This is a question that has intrigued philosophers and scientists alike. As I have written, the infinite mind, the eternal, the absolute, lies behind and within all forms, all shapes, all names, and all appearances. Let us delve into this profound inquiry.
The cosmological argument is a fascinating exploration of the origins of existence. From a psychological perspective, the need to understand the cause of the universe is deeply rooted in our psyche. As I have stated, the primordial experience is the source of man's creativeness, but it is usually unconscious because it is repressed and split off. Our drive to find a cause is connected to our need to make sense of the unknown and the infinite.
While the psychological need to understand the universe's origins is undeniable, it is crucial to separate this need from empirical evidence. As I have argued, the universe we observe has precisely the properties we should expect if there is at bottom no design, no purpose, no evil, no good, nothing but blind, pitiless indifference. The cosmological argument, often used to posit a God, lacks the empirical basis necessary to substantiate such a claim.
Dr. Dawkins raises an important point about the need for empirical evidence. Yet the exploration of cause and effect in the universe often leads us to consider metaphysical explanations. As I have noted, all is in vibration, and the higher the vibration, the more potent and subtle is the manifestation. Dr. Jung, how do you view the relationship between metaphysical concepts and the cosmological argument?
Metaphysical concepts provide a framework for understanding the deeper aspects of existence that lie beyond empirical observation. The cosmological argument often leads us to the archetypal imagery and symbols that reside within the collective unconscious. As I have noted, the symbols of transcendence represent not the goal of the process of transformation, but an attempt to express the totality of the process. These symbols help us grasp the idea of a primal cause or a source of creation, which many interpret as God.
While metaphysical concepts can be intellectually stimulating, they do not provide the empirical evidence needed to validate the existence of a God. The scientific approach seeks natural explanations for the origins of the universe. As I have stated, we are all creatures of evolution. We should all celebrate our true origins, our kinship with other animals, our place in nature, and the workings of the cosmos. The cause of the universe should be sought within the realm of natural phenomena, not supernatural explanations.
The tension between natural and supernatural explanations is a key aspect of the cosmological argument. As I have written, the laws of thought are but the methods of the infinite spirit working through the finite mind of man. Dr. Jung, do you believe that understanding the universe's cause requires integrating both natural and metaphysical perspectives?
Indeed, integrating natural and metaphysical perspectives can provide a more holistic understanding of the universe's cause. The human psyche inherently seeks connections between the seen and unseen, the material and the spiritual. As I have written, we are in the fullest sense of the word a microcosm, a reflection of the macrocosm. This interconnectedness suggests that exploring both scientific and metaphysical dimensions can lead to a more profound comprehension of existence.
While the integration of perspectives can be intellectually enriching, it is essential to maintain a clear distinction between what can be empirically validated and what remains speculative. The scientific method demands evidence and testability. As I have emphasized, science is the poetry of reality. Without empirical evidence, the assertion of a God as the cause of the universe remains an unverified hypothesis.
The balance between empirical validation and speculative thought is indeed delicate. As I have written, to think health is to create health. To think success is to create success. Our thoughts shape our understanding of reality, yet we must also seek evidence to ground our beliefs. Dr. Jung, how do you respond to the demand for empirical evidence in the context of the cosmological argument?
Empirical evidence is crucial for understanding the material aspects of the universe. However, the cosmological argument also touches on the numinous, the aspect of reality that invokes a sense of awe and wonder. As I have stated, the numinous experience seizes and controls the human subject who is always rather its victim than its creator. This experience, though not empirical, reflects a deep psychological reality that points to the existence of a transcendent cause.
The sense of awe and wonder can indeed be powerful, but it should not be mistaken for evidence of a divine cause. Natural phenomena, from the complexities of evolution to the vastness of the cosmos, can inspire awe without invoking the supernatural. As I have argued, science offers us an explanation of how complex things arise step by step from simpler beginnings by a comprehensible process. The cause of the universe, therefore, should be sought in natural explanations that can be empirically tested.
The exploration of natural versus supernatural causes continues to be a profound and intricate debate. As I have written, the spirit of man is ever seeking for the light, and the finite mind ever strives to reach the infinite. Our journey in understanding the universe's cause is ongoing, and it requires both rigorous inquiry and open-mindedness. Let us now turn our attention to the nature of religious experiences. Do these experiences serve as evidence for the existence of God? As I have articulated, the law of attraction is the bringing to us of our own by reason of our own thoughts, desires, and manifestations. How do these personal experiences shape our perception of the divine? Dr. Jung, would you like to begin?
Religious experiences play a significant role in shaping individuals' perceptions of the divine. These experiences often transcend the ordinary and invoke a profound sense of connection with something greater than oneself. I have observed that religious experience is absolute, it cannot be disputed. Such experiences are deeply rooted in the psyche and can provide individuals with a sense of meaning and purpose that is difficult to achieve through purely rational means.
While religious experiences can be deeply meaningful on a personal level, they do not constitute empirical evidence for the existence of God. Psychological phenomena, such as hallucinations or the influence of cultural conditioning, can account for these experiences. As I have noted, there is something infantile in the presumption that somebody else has a responsibility to give your life meaning and point. We must critically evaluate religious experiences and recognize their subjective nature rather than taking them as objective evidence for the divine.
The subjective nature of religious experiences raises interesting questions about their validity as evidence. As I have written, the best way to accomplish anything is to hold the vision and then act upon it. Dr. Jung, how do you respond to the assertion that religious experiences are purely subjective and therefore lack evidentiary value?
While it is true that religious experiences are subjective, their impact on individuals and cultures is undeniable. These experiences often emerge from the depths of the unconscious, bringing forth archetypal symbols and themes that resonate deeply with human beings. As I have noted, the experience of the self is always a defeat for the ego. This transformative aspect of religious experiences suggests that they tap into fundamental aspects of human existence, which may point to a reality beyond the purely material.
The transformative power of religious experiences does not necessarily imply the existence of a divine reality. Humans are capable of profound psychological transformations through various means, such as meditation, art, or even drugs. The brain's capacity to generate these experiences does not require a supernatural explanation. As I have argued, faith is the great cop-out, the great excuse to evade the need to think and evaluate evidence. We must be careful not to conflate personal transformation with objective evidence of God.
The distinction between personal transformation and objective evidence is crucial. As I have written, the things we see are but reflexes of the unseen. Dr. Jung, how do you view the relationship between the unseen aspects of religious experiences and their potential to point to a divine reality?
The unseen aspects of religious experiences often reflect the deeper layers of the unconscious mind. These experiences can provide insights into the human condition and our place in the cosmos. While they may not serve as empirical evidence in the scientific sense, they offer a different kind of evidence, one that is symbolic and psychological. As I have stated, the images of the unconscious place a great responsibility upon a man. Failure to understand them, or a shirking of ethical responsibility, deprives him of his wholeness and imposes a painful fragmentariness on his life. These experiences can be seen as manifestations of a greater reality that encompasses both the material and the spiritual.
Even if religious experiences offer symbolic insights, this does not equate to evidence of a divine being. The human brain is wired to seek patterns and assign meaning, often leading to interpretations that fit cultural and personal expectations. As I have pointed out, we are all atheists about most of the gods that humanity has ever believed in. Some of us just go one god further. The existence of diverse religious experiences across cultures suggests that they are more a product of human psychology than evidence of a universal divine entity.
The variety and richness of religious experiences indeed provide much to ponder. As I have written, all thought is creative, and according to the intensity of the thought and the knowledge of the working of the thought, so is the power manifested. Dr. Jung and Dr. Dawkins, your insights have illuminated the complexity of interpreting religious experiences. Next, we will explore the relationship between science and religion. Are these two ways of understanding the world compatible or inherently conflicting? As I have written, the universe is governed by law, one great law. How do these laws apply to our understanding of the world through science and religion? Dr. Jung, would you like to begin?
Science and religion address different aspects of human experience and can be seen as complementary rather than conflicting. Science seeks to understand the material world through empirical observation, and rational analysis, while religion provides a framework for exploring the spiritual and existential dimensions of life, as I have observed. The creation of something new is not accomplished by the intellect, but by the play instinct acting from inner necessity. This inner necessity often finds expression in religious symbols and myths, which convey truths that are not easily accessible through scientific inquiry alone.
While it's true that science and religion address different aspects of human experience, they often come into conflict when religion makes empirical claims about the natural world. Science relies on evidence and testable hypotheses, whereas religion often relies on faith and revelation. As I have argued, the God hypothesis is a scientific hypothesis about the universe which should be analyzed as skeptically as any other. When religious claims contradict scientific evidence, it becomes clear that the two are in conflict.
The potential for conflict between empirical evidence and faith-based claims is indeed a critical issue. As I have written, to succeed, you must unite thought and action. Dr. Jung, how do you see the interplay between the symbolic truths of religion and the empirical truths of science?
The symbolic truths of religion often address the inner, subjective experience of individuals, providing meaning and coherence to their lives. These truths can coexist with the empirical findings of science as they operate on different planes of understanding. Religion deals with the realm of values, morals, and the meaning of life, while science focuses on observable phenomena and the mechanisms of the natural world. As I have noted, one does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. The exploration of the unconscious, a domain often touched by religious experience, complements the rational investigations of science.
While I agree that religion can provide personal meaning and ethical guidance, this does not make it compatible with science when it comes to understanding the natural world. Science progresses by questioning and testing, whereas religion often demands acceptance of doctrines without evidence. This fundamental difference in approach is why they are often in conflict. As I have stated, religion teaches you to be satisfied with non-answers. Science thrives on doubt and inquiry, qualities that are not always welcome in religious contexts.
The distinct approaches of science and religion to understanding reality highlight their different purposes. As I have written, thoughts are things, and they have the power to attract like a magnet. Dr. Jung, can you elaborate on how the integration of scientific and religious perspectives might enrich our overall understanding of the world?
Integrating scientific and religious perspectives can lead to a more holistic understanding of the human condition. Science provides us with the tools to manipulate and understand the physical world, while religion offers a way to navigate the inner world of psyche and spirit. This integration requires recognizing the limitations and strengths of both domains. As I have observed, the meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. Such a synthesis can lead to a richer, more nuanced view of reality.
While the idea of synthesis is appealing, we must be cautious. Science and religion have fundamentally different methodologies and epistemologies. Any integration must be critically examined to ensure that it does not compromise the integrity of scientific inquiry, as I have stated. By all means, let's be open-minded, but not so open-minded that our brains drop out. The rigorous standards of evidence and skepticism that underpin science should not be diluted by untestable religious claims.
The challenge of integrating science and religion indeed requires careful consideration. As I have written, the power to create is inherent within each of us. Dr. Jung and Dr. Dawkins, your perspectives highlight the complexities and potential synergies between these two ways of understanding the world. We now delve into a profound philosophical and theological issue, the problem of divine foreknowledge and free will. If God knows everything that will happen, do humans truly have free will? Dr. Jung, what are your thoughts on this matter?
The question of divine foreknowledge and free will touches on the complex interplay between determinism and human agency. From a psychological perspective, the concept of free will is essential for the development of individual responsibility and self-awareness. As I have noted, the pendulum of the mind oscillates between sense and nonsense, not between right and wrong. This oscillation reflects the human struggle to find balance between external determinism and internal autonomy. Even if one posits a divine omniscience, the subjective experience of making choices remains crucial for psychological growth and individuation.
The concept of divine foreknowledge poses a significant challenge to the notion of free will. If an omniscient deity knows all future events, then the idea that humans have genuine free will becomes problematic. In a deterministic universe, our choices are simply the result of prior states of affairs. As I have argued, we are machines built by DNA whose purpose is to make more copies of the same DNA. This perspective highlights the deterministic nature of biological processes, which suggests that free will is an illusion created by the complexity of our brain's interactions.
The tension between divine omniscience and human free will is indeed a challenging philosophical issue. As I have written, the mind is a magnet and attracts that which it most earnestly desires or expects. Dr. Jung, how do you reconcile the idea of a predetermined universe with the human experience of free choice?
The reconciliation lies in understanding that human consciousness operates on a different level than the deterministic processes of the material world. The experience of free will is deeply embedded in our psychological makeup and is essential for our sense of agency and moral responsibility. As I have explored, freedom of will is the ability to do gladly that which I must do. This suggests that true freedom involves aligning oneself with an inner necessity which might be perceived as a higher will or purpose. The concept of synchronicity also comes into play, where meaningful coincidences suggest an underlying order that transcends causal determinism.
While the psychological experience of making choices is real, it does not imply that we have free will in the metaphysical sense. Our brains are subject to the laws of physics, and our decisions are ultimately the result of neural processes. As I have pointed out, the illusion of purpose is deeply ingrained in the human psyche. This illusion can be powerful, but it does not change the fact that our actions are determined by prior causes. The idea of divine foreknowledge further complicates this, as it implies that all events are already known and fixed.
The interplay between determinism and the subjective experience of free will remains a deeply intriguing topic. As I have written, the whole world is full of thought forms, each striving to manifest itself. Dr. Jung, could you elaborate on how the concept of synchronicity might offer a different perspective on this debate?
Synchronicity provides a framework for understanding how events can be meaningfully connected without a direct causal link. This principle suggests that the universe has an underlying order that transcends linear causality. As I have stated, synchronicity is an ever-present reality for those who have eyes to see. This view allows for the coexistence of determinism and meaningful choice, as synchronicities reveal patterns that connect our inner experiences with outer events. It implies that while certain aspects of life may be predetermined, our conscious engagement with these patterns can influence our sense of agency and purpose.
The concept of synchronicity, while intriguing, does not provide empirical evidence for free will. It is important to distinguish between subjective experiences of meaning and objective reality. As a scientist, I am committed to the view that our understanding of the universe must be grounded in empirical evidence and testable hypotheses. The deterministic nature of the physical world, as understood through science, leaves little room for the traditional notion of free will. Our challenge is to find meaning within this framework, without resorting to metaphysical explanations that cannot be tested or verified.
Our next topic delves into the theological challenge posed by non-belief and innocent suffering. How can the existence of God be reconciled with the presence of suffering, especially among the innocent? Dr. Jung, your insights on this complex issue would be invaluable.
The problem of innocent suffering presents a profound challenge to traditional theological notions of a benevolent and omnipotent God. From a psychological perspective, suffering, especially when it afflicts the innocent, raises questions about the nature of divine providence and human experience. As I have reflected, the acceptance of oneself is the essence of the whole moral problem and the epitome of a whole outlook on life. This acceptance includes grappling with the reality of suffering, which can test our beliefs about the inherent goodness or justice of the universe.
The existence of innocent suffering is a poignant argument against the traditional concept of a loving and all-powerful God. If God is both willing and able to prevent suffering but does not, then what does this imply about the nature of divinity? As I have argued, the universe we observe appears indifferent to our suffering, suggesting that natural processes, not divine intervention, shape our world. This perspective challenges us to reconsider the theological framework that posits a benevolent deity in the face of such pervasive suffering.
The theological challenge of innocent suffering indeed invites us to explore deeper questions about the nature of divine providence and human experience. As I have written, thought is the force underlying all, and what you think about is what you become. Dr. Jung, how do you reconcile the existence of innocent suffering with your understanding of the psychological and spiritual dimensions of human life?
Innocent suffering forces us to confront the limitations of our understanding and our capacity to grasp the larger purposes behind such events. From a psychological standpoint, suffering can serve as a catalyst for growth and transformation, despite its apparent injustice, as I have explored. The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. This acceptance includes acknowledging the reality of suffering as part of the human condition, and grappling with its meaning can lead to profound psychological and spiritual insights.
While suffering may have psychological or evolutionary explanations, it challenges the notion of a caring, all-powerful God who oversees human affairs. As I have pointed out, natural selection is a deeply nasty process, and yet, as far as we know, it's the best way of explaining our existence. This perspective underscores the conflict between theological assertions of divine benevolence and the harsh realities of suffering in the natural world.
The dialogue on innocent suffering highlights the profound tensions between theological beliefs and observable realities. As I have written, mind is the great builder, and we can build anything within the limits of the universal laws. Dr. Jung, in light of these discussions, how do you see the role of faith and psychological resilience in confronting the challenges posed by innocent suffering?
Faith and psychological resilience play crucial roles in navigating the existential challenges posed by suffering. Faith, whether in a religious or existential sense, can provide a framework for finding meaning and purpose amidst adversity. As I have observed, faith, hope, love, and insight are the highest achievements of human effort. Psychological resilience, on the other hand, involves the capacity to adapt and grow in response to difficult circumstances, drawing strength from within to confront and transcend suffering's effects.
While suffering may have psychological or evolutionary explanations, it challenges the notion of a caring, all-powerful God who oversees human affairs. As I have pointed out, the search for meaning is a personal journey, not a reliance on external forces to provide purpose. This perspective underscores the conflict between theological assertions of divine benevolence and the harsh realities of suffering in the natural world.
The discussion on innocent suffering underscores the complex interplay between theological beliefs, human experience, and philosophical inquiry. As I have written, all life is the expression of spirit, manifesting itself in and through variety. Dr. Jung, how do you see the potential for spiritual growth and transformation in the face of innocent suffering?
Innocent suffering presents an opportunity for profound spiritual growth and transformation, challenging individuals to confront existential questions and deepen their understanding of themselves and the world. As I have reflected, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. This process of individuation involves integrating the shadow aspects of our psyche and finding meaning in experiences that defy easy explanation, including suffering.
While suffering may lead to personal growth and insight, it remains a stark reminder of the absence of divine intervention in human affairs. As I have emphasized, we are going to die, and that makes us the lucky ones. Most people are never going to die because they are never going to be born. This perspective challenges us to seek meaning and solace in our shared humanity and the resilience of the human spirit.
The theological challenge of innocent suffering prompts us to reflect deeply on the nature of existence, belief, and human resilience. As I have written, the greatest achievement was at first, and for a time, a dream. This ongoing dialogue invites us to consider the profound implications of suffering on our understanding of divinity, morality, and the human experience. Our next discussion explores the interplay of religion in shaping ethical frameworks and providing meaning to life. Dr. Jung, how do you perceive the relationship between religious beliefs and the ethical values they promote?
Religious beliefs often serve as foundational pillars for ethical frameworks, providing individuals and communities with moral guidelines and a sense of purpose. From a psychological perspective, these beliefs can offer a structured framework for understanding right and wrong, as well as a sense of belonging and meaning. As I have explored, the foundation of all mental illness is the unwillingness to experience legitimate suffering. This willingness to engage with the ethical dimensions of life is crucial for personal growth and societal harmony.
While religious beliefs may provide ethical guidelines, they are not the only source of moral frameworks. Ethical values can emerge from secular philosophies, humanistic principles, and scientific understandings of human behavior. As I have argued, the universe we observe has precisely the properties we should expect if there is, at bottom, no design, no purpose, no evil, no good, nothing but blind, pitiless indifference. This perspective challenges us to consider the origins of ethical values beyond religious doctrines.
Indeed, ethical values can emerge from various sources, yet religious beliefs often play a significant role in shaping cultural norms and ethical standards. These beliefs provide a moral compass for individuals navigating complex ethical dilemmas and societal expectations. As I have reflected, the word belief is a difficult thing for me. I don't believe. I must have a reason for a certain hypothesis. Either I know a thing, and then I know it, I don't need to believe it. This distinction between belief and knowledge underscores the psychological complexity of ethical decision-making within religious contexts.
While religious beliefs may provide a moral framework for some, they can also inhibit moral progress by promoting dogma over critical inquiry and compassion. As I have pointed out, gaps in our understanding should spur us to inquire, not to stagnate in comforting myths. This emphasis on questioning and evidence-based reasoning contrasts with the certainty often demanded by religious doctrines, which may restrict ethical discourse and adaptation to changing social norms.
The profound influence of religious beliefs in shaping ethical frameworks raises fundamental questions about the role of belief systems in guiding human behavior and societal values. As I've observed, every thought has its seed, and every seed has its purpose. Dr. Jung, how do you see the potential for religious beliefs to foster ethical growth and societal cohesion?
Religious beliefs can indeed foster ethical growth by providing individuals with moral principles that transcend personal interests and contribute to the common good. These beliefs often emphasize virtues such as compassion, justice, and integrity, which are essential for building cohesive communities and promoting social harmony. As I have explored, who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes. This process of ethical maturation involves integrating religious teachings with personal experiences and social responsibilities.
While religious beliefs may promote ethical virtues, they can also perpetuate divisions and intolerance based on differing interpretations of sacred texts and doctrines. As I have emphasized, morality is doing what is right regardless of what you are told. Religion is doing what you are told, regardless of what is right. This critique challenges the assumption that religious frameworks alone are sufficient for fostering ethical behavior and societal cohesion in a diverse and interconnected world.
The dialogue on the interplay of religion underscores the complexity of ethical development and the diverse influences that shape human values and behaviors. As I have written, thought is the subtle and potent force that sways and controls every act of life, every movement of body, every impulse, every desire, every thought, and every feeling. This ongoing exploration invites us to consider how religious beliefs, alongside secular philosophies, contribute to the ethical landscapes of individuals and societies. We now embark on a profound inquiry. Does the existence of God necessarily provide the foundation for objective morality? This question strikes at the core of ethical philosophy and theological discourse. As I have articulated, true morality consists not in following the beaten track, but in finding the true path for ourselves and fearlessly following it.
The question of objective morality hinges on our understanding of the divine and its influence on human behavior. From a psychological perspective, morality often emerges from the collective unconscious, shaped by archetypal patterns that transcend individual experiences. As I have observed, the unconscious is not just evil by nature, it is also the source of the highest good.
Morality's basis does not require a divine source, but rather evolves through societal norms and human empathy. As I have argued, we are the privileged owners of a universe in which physical phenomena come to life. The evolution of moral frameworks can be understood through biological and cultural evolution, independent of religious doctrines.
Dr. Jung, you suggest morality stems from the collective unconscious. Can this source of moral guidance be considered objective when it varies across cultures and individuals? As I have written, the law of attraction will certainly and unerringly bring to you the conditions, environment, and experiences in life corresponding with your habitual, characteristic, predominant mental attitude.
Indeed, the collective unconscious provides a framework for moral understanding that transcends personal experiences, yet it manifests differently within various cultural contexts. This diversity reflects the adaptive nature of morality as it responds to societal needs and historical conditions. As I have noted, the meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed.
Cultural variations in morality underscore its human origin and evolution. The concept of objective morality tied to a divine source overlooks the dynamic nature of moral systems that adapt and change over time. As I have posited, science replaces private prejudice with publicly verifiable evidence. Objective moral standards, if they exist, must be discernible through rational inquiry and empirical observation rather than divine decree.
Dr. Dawkins, can morality, as you describe it, provide a sufficient basis for societal cohesion and ethical conduct without invoking a divine authority? In my work, The Secret of Success, I emphasize that the individual who acquires the habit of going to bed at a specified hour, not because he feels sleepy, but because he wants to develop the habit of getting to bed at that hour, is pursuing the course of wisdom and will in time accomplish his object.
Absolutely. Morality rooted in human empathy and rationality offers a robust foundation for ethical behavior and societal cohesion. The innate human capacity for moral reasoning, shaped by evolutionary pressures and cultural dynamics, guides our interactions and decisions. As I have articulated, it is absolutely safe to say that if you meet somebody who claims not to believe in evolution, that person is ignorant, stupid, or insane. By understanding the origins of moral principles, we can foster a more inclusive and compassionate society.
Yet, morality also addresses deeper existential questions beyond mere social cohesion, confronting the individual with ethical dilemmas that transcend immediate societal norms. The integration of moral insights from both psychological and philosophical perspectives enriches our understanding of human behavior and societal ethics, as I have reflected. Show me a sane man and I will cure him for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we delve deeper into the question of the existence of a creator, we encounter the contentious issue of miracles and fine-tuning. Miracles are often cited as divine interventions in the natural order, while fine-tuning points to the precise conditions necessary for life to exist in the universe. As I have written, success is the sum of small efforts, repeated day in and day out.
Miracles resonate with the human psyche, reflecting our innate longing for transcendent experiences that defy rational explanation. From a psychological perspective, miracles symbolize moments of profound transformation and awakening, drawing from the depths of the collective unconscious. As I have noted, the encounter between two personalities is akin to the alchemical union of two substances. Each affects the other, sparking a metamorphosis.
Miracles, by their very nature, challenge the foundational principles of natural causation and scientific inquiry. The concept of fine-tuning, though fascinating, finds explanation through the intricate workings of cosmology and physics, such as the anthropic principle. As I've asserted, exploring the universe's mysteries is akin to deciphering the sonnets of nature. Understanding the cosmos' intricacies as products of natural processes negates the need for supernatural intervention.
Dr. Jung, how do you reconcile the symbolic significance of miracles with their empirical and scientific scrutiny? In my work, The Secret of Success, I discuss how the power of thought, if understood and rightly directed, can become the greatest power in the world. Can miracles be seen as symbolic manifestations of this power?
Miracles, in their essence, symbolize profound moments of numinosity that surpass ordinary perception. They awaken a deep sense of wonder and reverence, triggering profound spiritual insights and personal metamorphoses. From a psychological perspective, miracles manifest as archetypal symbols resonating with fundamental human aspirations. As I have observed, true enlightenment comes not from envisioning radiant figures, but from confronting and integrating the shadows within.
While miracles may carry profound personal significance, assigning them supernatural origins conflicts with empirical evidence and the scientific method. Fine-tuning arguments, often cited as evidence for a creator, find explanation in naturalistic terms such as cosmological constants and physical laws. As I have underscored, the universe we perceive aligns precisely with what we'd anticipate if there were fundamentally no cosmic intent, no ultimate good or evil, only blind, unfeeling indifference.
Dr. Dawkins, can the apparent fine-tuning of the universe's constants and conditions be seen as evidence supporting the existence of a creator? In my writings, Practical Mental Influence, I explore how the mind of man is more powerful than the force of gravitation. Does the intricate balance of physical laws suggest a deliberate design?
The concept of fine-tuning emerges from our existence within a universe governed by precise physical laws. The anthropic principle elucidates that our observations are inherently constrained by our status as observers. This does not mandate a designer, but rather mirrors the prerequisites for life's emergence and development. As I have phrased it, we inhabit a universe where physical phenomena awaken to existence. The semblance of design finds explication through natural mechanisms, not supernatural intercession.
Contemplating fine-tuning and the grandeur of the universe encourages us to ponder our role within its vast expanse. These reflections on order and intricacy can deepen our spiritual and existential inquiries from a psychological standpoint. Exploring fine-tuning invites profound contemplation of meaning and purpose in the presence of cosmic marvels. As I have expressed, the mysteries of the unconscious unveil not only its darkness, but also reveal the wellspring of a highest good.
As we approach the conclusion of this segment of our debate, I invite both of our esteemed guests to share their final thoughts on the matter. The discussion on miracles and fine-tuning has been a rich and stimulating one, drawing from both scientific inquiry and philosophical reflection. Your insights have undoubtedly challenged and inspired our understanding of the nature of existence and the potential for a creator. Before we wrap up, I'd like to remind us of an idea I have long cherished. The mind is like a piece of unworked clay. It takes on the form and shape of the ideas that impress themselves upon it. Dr. Jung, Dr. Dawkins, please share your concluding remarks.
The debate over miracles and fine-tuning ultimately brings us face to face with profound questions about the nature of reality and our place within it. From a psychological standpoint, these phenomena serve as powerful symbols that can catalyze deep personal transformation and spiritual growth. Whether viewed through the lens of science or spirituality, they invite us to explore the mysteries of existence and the interplay between the known and the unknown. As I have noted, the pendulum of the mind oscillates between sense and nonsense, not between right and wrong. Our quest for understanding must embrace both rational inquiry and the exploration of the deeper dimensions of the psyche.
While the concept of fine-tuning and reports of miracles can inspire awe and wonder, they do not provide empirical evidence for the existence of a supernatural creator. Science offers naturalistic explanations for the phenomena we observe, grounded in rigorous investigation and evidence. The beauty and complexity of the universe can be appreciated without invoking the supernatural. As I have argued, the universe we observe has precisely the properties we should expect if there is at bottom no design, no purpose, no evil, no good, nothing but blind, pitiless indifference. Our understanding of the cosmos is enriched by the pursuit of knowledge and the relentless quest for truth through scientific inquiry.
Both perspectives offer valuable insights into our understanding of the universe and our search for meaning. As I have written, thought is a force, a manifestation of energy, having a magnet-like power of attraction. Whether through the empirical rigor of science or the symbolic richness of spirituality, our exploration of these profound questions continues to shape our journey towards greater wisdom and understanding. Thank you, Dr. Jung and Dr. Dawkins, for your thought-provoking contributions.